I am the student every teacher wished they had. I work hard, I have straight A's. I not only do well in your class, but you can see the passion on my face. I do homework the way I run, fastly, furiously, never stopping until I'm done. I hemorrhage achievements and extra credit out of a tired, overworked brain, and I do it all with a perfect plastic smile on my face. But I hate school. I'm the student every teacher wished they had. I shouldn't hate school. Do not confuse my hatred with a disdain for learning. I must admit, though, that I learn more from an episode of Sherlock Holmes than I do from the droning of my English teacher telling us about his college days instead of how to write college essays. I learn more from my parents who lead their lives with love, who see guidance from God above, who teach kids about the world and their own kids how to change it. I learn more from my brothers in college, from my sister battling insecurity, from my brother who hung himself in the attic of a church, than from knowing the slope of a line on a distance time graph depicts velocity. I shouldn't hate school. I walk out of AP American History class believing I could be president, but by physics I'm left with an emptiness, believing I am the worthless student the physics teacher says I am. In theater, we run around like children on stage, playing games too young for our age. I want to learn how to be a director, but find myself a collector of curses and wasted time around the most entitled kids I've met in my lifetime. I shouldn't hate school. My only F on an assignment was in dance because I couldn't balance or touch my toes. I was born with muscles that quickly grow, getting extra tight as I grew extra tall. My body was not designed to bend like a ballerina, but it was clear that nothing else mattered at all. My insecure, imperfect, impossible body failed me, a broken body that had always been too tall. I shouldn't hate school. But most teachers believe their class holds the most worth, as if learning is a competition, a coronation, crowning only the best and the brightest, with a title for the mightiest learners on the planet, while everyone else is simply student. Now some teachers make me believe I can fly, like I can take my knowledge and skill and soar high through the sky, but then I fall onto a teetering tightrope strung just above the fire. An acrobat cannot balance on sprained ankles and broken knees the same way I can't think with a swollen brain and a heart that bleeds, but I have to try, because to fail is to fall, but to succeed is to simply not die. I shouldn't hate school. But how quickly grades came to define me. Capital letters on transcripts. We learned the alphabet in kindergarten, but no one told those 5-year-olds that those first 5 letters will define your worth. And no matter what I do, I cannot seem to make the letter A shine higher, fly brighter, or meet the desire of a perfectionist faced with the insult of, it's okay, or stop the overused A from being a branding iron scalding my perfect page. I shouldn't hate school, but why should I bother showing up when the teacher says, no corrections, I don't get paid enough? Or when they quit for a different school, explaining that those kids do better on tests, as if they aren't being cruel. I had 4 math teachers in 1 year. Of course it's so easy for them to quit and find better kids. No one's forcing them to be here. I shouldn't hate school. I used to love school. I used to think being smart was the best way to be cool. But now it takes all my strength to plaster on a mask of achievements to my acne-ridden face, to conceal my exhaustion with a smile and my bullet holes with band-aids because homework is homicidal and threatens to shoot me dead in my desk chair. I used to think the only kids who hated school were those kids, the kids who failed because they did nothing and are out of class. Really? Are you bored by the past? Let's take a time machine back to 1845 when kids had to work in factories just to keep their families alive. They didn't have phones to retreat to when life got hard because if they did, their punishment wouldn't be a scolding from a teacher, they'd starve. Everyone knows why those kids hate school. But did you ever think about the kid who works their hardest just to barely pass? Or the kid who cries every night over homework they can't seem to get grasped? Or the kid who never pulls out their phone because they care what the teacher has to say, even when they miss that phone call that told them a family member passed away? What about the kids that want to change the flawed system? Or the kid who spoke up for the first time but you missed him? What about the kid who tries to be tough, but deep down in her heart she knows at school it will never be enough? Those kids should not hate school. Those kids should not be crying over shattered expectations. Those kids should not be judged for being too smart or stupid in their nation. Those kids should not be judged for having an ambition for creation, wishing school taught them their greatest weapon isn't just education, it's their hearts. We should hate school. We should hate school so we can change school, so we can make school a place where every student and teacher feels valued, where we are no longer defined by 5 letters in the alphabet, but by our character. I am the student every teacher wished they had, but at what cost? I am tired of being a pawn in a school game of chess expected to win or die trying. On the end of the fishing line, squirming on the hook is the bait. I don't fish or play chess, I don't know what move to make, but just as I figure out the game, school screams, checkmate.